What is up, fellow benchwarmers? Welcome to 2023, and this is your daily fantasy quickie. Hey guys, we are back. Daily fantasy quickie. We apologize for the long break that we had.
I think you should say almost daily because they might
Almost daily.
use up of false advertising.
Almost daily. Almost daily. We try to do it daily. We were supposed to start yesterday, but just to give you some, context on why we did not. It's so far been a rough 2023 for some of us, like me. But it's okay. Everything's all good so far. There were just some medical stuff that we have to take care of with the kids and all these things, and life happens. But yeah, and Kamish also took a little vacation, although Kamish was raring to go, even wanting to record even from somewhere out there. But yeah, we're back. We'll try to do it again daily once again. December was just crazy. Every December, that's where business is at their best when it comes to our main cash cow. So
it's harder because pandemic is, it's not a pandemic season already. So life, there's just more things to do. Vacations, family, school.
A lot schedule as well. We have to make schedule work since we always do recording together. And
well, if you guys get us to 5,000 subscribers and make
this one of our cash cow, make this a good reason for us telling our wives no, right? That's it. If we get to 5,000 or 10,000 subscribers or whatever that is, we can easily tell our wives, no, we're not going out. Yeah. We're staying home because we're going to record today because that's making us money. But we can't tell that to our wives yet. So we have to stick with them and make them happy, right? So let's go. Let's get it on. We missed a lot. What are we going to talk about first? Injuries, what we missed. Zion out. There we go. Some things never change, right?
Yeah.
How many weeks? 4 weeks? 3? 4?
I think 3 weeks. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Although he already missed almost a week. So probably 2.5 more weeks for another reevaluation. But it's a hamstring injury. As we see from Bradley Beal's situation, it can just never end. It can just never end. It can just, he comes back, plays a game, maybe not even a game, maybe half a game, a quarter, and then it acts up on him. And with Zion, it's scarier because the way he plays, it's explosive, he jumps high, so this is bad because it's a hamstring. It is good because at least it's not any bone or anything for him. Hopefully the 3 weeks will be enough, but I would predict February maybe would be
after the
All-Star
probably.
Well, I hope it's not that, but that's possible. That's very possible. I mean, because All-Star is somewhere there.
There's no incentive for New Orleans to bring him back fast.
Yeah.
Because they're up there in the standings. They're not like playing, battling for the play-in position. They're really at the top 4 or 5 of the West. So that's, just a few small, there's really not much incentive to bring him back faster. As we've seen, and then, Ingram's about to return. So that gives him more leeway in terms of recovery and also not good. But yeah, of course, obviously he is not a drop. He should be held. And especially if you have an IL, should you trade for him?
No.
No.
I'll say it right now. You should not trade for him. You should trade him, not trade for him. Actually, this injury it's just, we could see it from afar. I already knew it was coming. I just didn't know what kind of injury. But it makes me think, I don't think Zion can play through a season healthy. The way he plays, the way his body is, it's just not possible. He's not going to play 75 games in his career. Probably 60 would be the best case scenario, the way he plays and his body type. So, no, don't trade for him.
So just understand the rings. It's not like this is an isolated case in the NBA. A lot
It's
of
not.
players are like this, not just because of Zion's body or this is just a trend in the NBA right now. Injury, rest, load management. That's just common thing. If you can, case in point would be the, Clippers guys, the, the other players, even LeBron now taking some rest, right? In between back to backs. Donovan Mitchell just took a rest, right? And it's a common thing. One player not really having a great season health wise is Bradley Beal, because my bet for a player who could help you, a third, fourth round player who could help you, Bradley Beal, just could not get himself healthy. Like I said, seems like the injury prone tag has been rubbed off on him from Kristaps.
And I think it's just that the hamstrings are just tricky. You never know when it will act up. And when like his original injury was to the right, and now it's to the left. So I guess maybe he was compensating for that. That's why the other one, the other one gave way also. So that's something you cannot predict. But he is really injury prone. Whether it's I don't know, the shoulder, the arms, or whatever. Now the hamstring, it's just piling up for him. Kristaps surprisingly been the one who's been healthy. So what to do with Beal? Nothing. I don't think you can get much for him right now. It's just a 1 week thing. It's just a mild strain. So it's just a 1 week thing. Hopefully, because this is like the second time he has come back and it's not even lasted.
It's a lot of times actually throughout the season. There's a lot of times he's been in and out of that lineup. Just couldn't get himself a good string of 10 games. I couldn't even remember if he said 10 straight games.
No,
playing.
He
right?
hasn't done that. But the Wizards are winning without him. That's bad. That's bad because they have actually won and they've actually got the season back.
No, isn't that good
streak,
for Bradley Beal owners? That should be good for Bradley Beal owners.
No, I mean, the way that is that they may take extra longer. Well, actually, that might be good if they take extra longer. He might come back more ready. But it's also bad because now that they're winning, they might extend it way longer than your team can afford. I don't know. I don't know what's the status of your teams, but if he's gonna be out for 2 to 3 more weeks, I don't know if you can afford that. Because I guess Bradley Beal's your third pick, or or
fourth at worst,
or fourth. But I think if he comes back healthy from this hamstring, he should be okay. The question is, will he recover in time?
And if he comes back, I would think you should try and ship him out, see what you can get for him, because this could happen again later in the season. So during your playoffs at worst. So I think the tone has been set for Bradley Beal, and it's going to be a very injury plagued season for him this season.
Bradley Beal, it's like this: if someone offered you Jordan Poole for Bradley Beal, I think that's a trade. No, I'm just giving some suggestions. Because don't go for Levine, don't go for these guys who are hot. That's not gonna happen. But if you're really worried already, you just don't want to stress. Steph Curry is coming back. So Jordan Poole owners were trying to cash in. Now Poole is a guy you can get for Bradley Beal. Now it's up to you. Easily. They will say, okay, I'll wait for Bradley Beal. Would you do something like that? I personally, I won't. I'll keep Beal. The upside of Beal is just too. I'm just giving an advice here because I'm sure there will be offers like that. Pool for Beal or everything. I'll keep Beal. But that's something you can do if you're just really frustrated and want to cash out. And
so what's a good deal for Bradley Beal if you want to trade him out?
I mean, a deal that I will take?
Yeah.
That's tough. I know that the deals I would take, the opposing managers won't give to me, but probably Scotty Barnes, that's probably the kind of level, a struggling Scotty Barnes. It's kind of the level I might be acceptable with. That's the only guy I'm acceptable with. The others, I'd rather keep Beal.
Hero.
I don't know.
No. You won't trade your Tyler Hero for him.
No.
Yeah, I'll think of some names.
Probably a guy like Jeremy Grant, maybe.
That's a fair
I'll do
one.
that.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
fair
I'll
one.
do that. I'll do Jeremy Grant. I mean, people might see him as sell high. Good. It's okay. I'd rather just move on. If I'm so irritated already, frustrated already, I'll move on. I think Jeremy Grant, the rest of the season, will still be a top 65 player. His role in Portland is pretty set. He's pretty set. He has proven a lot of people wrong. He has really done well. If the manager is not convinced, then that's the deal you can do.
Right. So Devin Vassell is the latest injury, major injury, 6 to 8 weeks out. Another guy
Okay.
who just couldn't get himself healthy this season.
Did they already announce 6 to 8 weeks?
Yeah, I think it's 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay. Okay. I didn't I
I
didn't
saw
see that.
some posts already on Twitter. It's about around 6 to 8 weeks for him.
Okay.
Let me just check though. Let me just check. I might be wrong,
But
yeah, more or
it's
less it's
funny
going to be
because
because that's a
knee
procedure on
surgery.
the knee, right? It's knee
Yeah.
surgery.
It's funny because I wrote a day before that happened that I'm really worried about his knees. I thought it was a tendinitis thing or something, or a wear and tear kind of problem with the knee. And I said I'm getting worried about the Spurs players because of that. And true enough, the day after, he does this. He goes under the knife. Whether it's 6 to 8 weeks, whether it's 4 to 6 weeks, whether whatever, I've said it, I've tweeted it, I've posted it. I don't think he'll be back this season to matter in fantasy. 6 to 8 weeks puts us at around week 20, week 18 to week 20. So that's around playoff time. And at that time, silly season is already starting. So I don't even think he's gonna play every game if ever he comes
Yeah.
back. So it's gonna be more or less just a streamer. So that's it for Vassell, I think, this season. You can hold on to him, IL plus, of course. Hold on to him, especially if you're doing well, you can afford it. But don't expect anything else from him this season.
Yeah.
And Keldon Johnson
Also got
hurt his
injured.
hamstring today. Yes.
Another
So
hamstring injury. So although this one looks
now the Spurs,
shorter term,
yeah,
but the looks
it's
like
the
the
Spurs.
Spurs are really on track to that
Yes.
Wembanyama sweepstakes, and looks like everything's falling into place for them.
And if you own Jakob Poeltl or Trey Jones, I'll just be trying to do something. I just don't like the aura or vibe coming out of San Antonio. I don't know what will happen. Easily, you can see Malaki Branham, Josh Richardson, Doug McDermott, Sohan starting soon, and I don't know what will happen to the team.
So
I
potentially a
could
sell
easily
high on Jakob
Poeltl.
and Trey
Yeah.
Jones, right? I think if there's one player who's going to be really affected by this tanking thing, it could be Jakob because he's the
Jakob.
higher end, or the better prospect between the two, between him and Trey Jones. Trey Jones though has been really steady over the past few games, really good over the past few
Jakob,
games.
it's easier to sell him. If you can get, let's say, Wendell Carter, you go higher, of course, like Sengun. But if not, Wendell Carter coming off an injury, if you're really desperate, Mitch Robinson, I think that's something you can easily swing a trade like that. So Nick Claxton, maybe, those kinds of players.
Claxton really
Well,
good.
Yeah,
That might be too high.
Well, let's see. I mean, how good a negotiator you are.
But Jakob put on a good number today. I think he had 16 rebounds and
7 assists.
7 assists. So solid numbers. So good time to sell high. Oubre will be out 4 weeks, right? 4 weeks.
4 to 6. 4 to 6
weeks. Better than maybe Vassell. It was, I think, I saw the tweet from Josh, right? 6 to 8 weeks. That's the one for Vassell. But Oubre out 4 to 6 weeks.
How about Hayward? Are we still gonna talk
should we talk about Hayward? Hayward's out again.
Out with hamstring injury.
Yeah. So really nothing to talk about there. But I think Oubre is the guy who will affect the others. Jalen McDaniels starting now for both Hayward. I think for Hayward mostly because it's Oubre. Oubre is always coming off the bench, right?
I think everybody gets a boost. Oubre scores a lot, gets a lot of attempts, off the bench. So everybody gets a boost. But Jalen is a must-add, must-roster. I think Dennis Smith Jr., I've added him in some leagues, in 14-team leagues. In deeper leagues, I think you can add him. He's not done well so far, but, he's coming off a long injury. So have to give him some time to get back to his old self, get his rhythm back. But I think it will come. I don't know if it's 1 week or 2 weeks, but I think he might be serviceable. He's not going to be DSJ of the early season, but still okay. I think still okay. And then Cody Martin, he also came back already. Just keep an eye on him. He's also like Caleb, it's like Caleb Martin, his twin brother in the stat set wise. So, well, they're twins. So, I mean, somebody to, again, long layoff. So he's been struggling, but just somebody to monitor when he gets hot, maybe consider him.
Marvin Bagley out, 4 weeks, I think?
I guess more because it's like, I think he got the surgery also.
Yeah.
Like Oubre.
So this is a lower end player though. I've seen Bagley on the waiver wire even before he got injured. So really, I don't know who benefits more, but I guess more Jalen Duren, more minutes for him, more for Isaiah Stewart. I think they probably would share the minutes there.
Yeah.
Or they could go small and play some of their other guys.
The good thing about recording late with these injuries, we have seen some games already when these injuries, after these injuries happen. So with the Pistons, they've gone small. They have went with Sadiq Bey. Sadiq Bey has improved. He got the game winner the other day, but he has improved, but still not to the level where I would say I would add him. He's probably a streamer. Alec Burks is another guy who, with Killian Hayes coming back, some people have dropped. I think he gets more minutes. So that's it. That's basically what will happen in Detroit. Nothing else. No one else really to add there.
Yeah. Darius Garland played through a thumb injury. So let's see how far that goes. It's also possible that Donovan Mitchell sat out today's game. That's why they quote unquote forced Darius Garland to play into this game. But he tried to play through it, just like Sabonis did.
But he got whacked a lot of times. He actually hurt it again. And people Twitter, it was all over Twitter. They thought he's gonna leave the game, but he did come back. So that's good news. But I'm worried really if he's gonna play through it. And he's a guard. I don't know if opposing guards are gonna intentionally hit it. You know how it is sometimes. Somebody's hurt there, try to hit it. So I'm afraid if he gets hit, in a bad way,
it gets worse. It
gets worse. So that I'm not a doctor. I don't know how safe it is to play through that. But still something to monitor for the Cavs. I think you have to make sure Caris LeVert is owned. For the meantime at least. I think LeVert has extra value because of this.
All right. Some injury reports that came in today. Chris Paul, hip injury, I think. For Chris Paul, the same thing with Anthony Edwards, also with a hip injury, left early in today's game. Not really sure if it's something major or minor. We'll have to wait for a few more days. I think Cam Payne is also injured, so that Phoenix team from the backcourt is really depleted there. Shamet playing maybe gets a little more boost. Damian Lee, but these are low-end ads, not really a must-own, must-pick-up guys from the waiver.
You can see from my face that, I mean, you don't have Payne, you don't have Booker now if you lose Chris Paul. Duan Washington, maybe. I know you said that Landry Shamet, but probably if Paul is gonna miss a long time, Duan Washington, he played today, like, I don't know, 4 of 15, 4 of 14 or whatever. But I guess he's the guy you would go to. Now, I think Paul's injury is more severe than Edwards. Anthony Edwards, the game was already blown out. It was over. So the injury, I know where it came from. He fell hard in a game, and ever since then, according to Twitter, he's been struggling with that hip. So at least we know where it came from. With Chris Paul, well, I know where it comes from with Chris Paul, is old age, no, but but that's that's harder to cure. It's harder to cure with
Yeah.
Chris.
The good thing about Phoenix though is that they're struggling a bit. So you know that
Yeah.
might force Chris Paul to play through some of it, some of the games at least, and hopefully not miss a lot of time. Even having said that
If
though,
you
even if he's been playing, he hasn't been good. Hasn't been Chris Paul good. He's been a shade of himself.
if you saw my New Year's resolution post January 1, I did say that, and not drafting the Lowrys, the
That's
Chris
it. That's
Pauls,
it. That's it for these old guys.
the
The Al
veterans,
Horford, the Al
the Al
Horfords,
Horfords,
right?
Brook Lopez, the only guy that has
But he's,
reversed that.
I guess in the younger tier group.
But if they reach 34, 35, Paul George, I will add Paul George there. He also didn't play today.
Also,
He also has
in
a
fairness to
hamstring.
Brook Lopez, though, Brook Lopez pretty much missed the whole of last year.
That's true. That's true. We can say that. But again, my New Year's resolutions list, I would pick these players, but very very low. So that is not gonna happen. They still have value, so that's not gonna happen. So I'm not gonna pick them anymore. I just pick veterans like Aaron Gordon. These guys like Mike Conley. These guys are the last parts of the draft, maybe 8, 9, 10th round. That is actually okay. That's
Well,
where you pick them,
they're gonna go
right?
higher this year. They're gonna go higher. The Aaron Gordons will probably go higher next year. He's been good.
Nah,
I think he
I don't
gets
think
a
so.
little boost, unless there are some changes in the lineups. But yeah, Paul
Nobody will
George.
pick nobody will pick veterans that high, even if they've had a good season. It's unless you're Chris Paul or the star players, the star veterans.
Yeah, the elite ones, including Paul George, like you mentioned, skipped
Ah,
today's game again. We thought it was the end of the load management, but the Clippers is going to be a problematic team. I think this is outside of maybe the how do you say this, the role players. There's no
but
one safe from load management.
yes. But here's the thing. They were blown out yesterday very badly. And Paul George played 13 minutes, Kawhi played
Yeah,
16
that's it.
minutes. And they didn't play today. I
Yeah.
mean, what's the point? What's the point? I don't understand. I really don't understand the NBA these
No,
days.
maybe
Now they lost Luke.
they really got, well, Paul George, maybe he really has an injury.
Yeah,
I don't
but
know, but like you said, they only played 13 minutes. Today they lost again, big, right? They lost big once again.
badly. Yeah.
Yeah. So he could have played like
And
20 minutes just to compensate that 13 minutes. I mean,
and
um,
and they lost Luke Kennard and Nick Batum today. So if
no,
Paul George
Batum
is
did
gonna miss,
play yesterday. He hasn't been
yeah,
playing.
Luke
So
Kennard, Luke Kennard,
Kennard
Kennard
again
got
today.
injured today.
Yeah. So
Yeah, got
uh,
injured. So and then Reggie Jackson has been terrible. So I don't really see what to do with the Clippers anymore. The only player really there that
Norm
I'm happy about
Powell,
is
come
Norm
on,
Powell.
Norm Powell.
Yeah, Norm Powell. The
That's
only
it.
guy there I see Norm Powell is doing well. Now if Paul George injury will really cost him some time, Terrence Mann would be
Yeah.
the guy.
Yeah. So those are the injuries. Lots of them because we missed lots of these guys. Let's continue on to some possibly returning players. Steph Curry, Brandon Ingram returning, possibly returning. Steph Curry has practiced. Ingram hasn't practiced, but there's been reports that he's gonna try to come back during the road trip. So we'll have to wait and see how
Yeah.
that goes. And then some low end returnees, Jalen Suggs. I don't know. Fultz has been playing well. Cole Anthony has been, good and bad. Some games, right? Some games good, some games bad. There's just too many players there for minutes. Jonathan Isaac, we haven't really seen him. I don't think he's an ad. Jason Tate returned. This is interesting though. Jason Tate returned today, and I got a question from someone, a friend of ours. Um, between on a luxury stash, he's number 2, I think, or 1 in the league, and he's trying to stash a player, Tari Eason, Mark Williams. So let's talk luxury stash for a bit for those on the top. Are these players luxury stashes? Choosing between the two, who is a more better hold in terms of stashing? What's
I
your
would
take on
still
this?
go with both of them are luxury stashes. But I think Tari Eason would be the guy I would still stash. But Mark Williams is there. No, there's nothing wrong with stashing Mark Williams. If you look at the Hornets, they're what? They're 11-29. So it will come. It will come when Plumlee will be rested. They will give more minutes to Mark Williams. That will come. But when will that come? Maybe week 18, 19, maybe later on. So if you can really stash until that long, then yeah, go for it. Eason, I think Eason's time might come earlier. Or
Really?
at the very
I thought, I was
at the very
thinking
least,
Mark Williams' time will come earlier.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
my
probably.
take. Here's my take. Both are not really rosterable, like you said. Your luxury stash. I've seen Tari Easons in FA all throughout a lot of the FBW leagues. Mark Williams not much, but because he was just picked up last week, right? The thing I said was that we've seen Tari Eason being used even without the Eric Gordons, even without Jason Tate, and it's really not significant bump in usage. I think for him to be really used, an injury to maybe Jabari or Jalen Green, those guys needs to sit out before Tari Eason gets. And there's a pecking order there. For Mark Williams, though, it's an easier route to playing time. He's going up against Nick Richards and Mason Plumlee, right? Those two players. That's faster for him. That's going to be faster because they're tanky. So I think if you drop Eason, like I said to him, if you drop Eason, I don't think it's going to be a regretful drop at this point because I've seen no one's picking him up anyway. Both though can be dropped, but if I were to choose, I'd say Mark Williams will probably be closer, faster, get there faster.
Yeah, I could see that. My theory with Eason only is that right now Mark Williams, I agree with you. Maybe they're both not rosterable, but I think Eason, in a way, if you roster him, can still help you.
Yeah.
At the very least, right now he already helps you because of the steals, because of there are stats there that helps you compared to Mark Williams.
Plus the minutes are more consistent at this point right now.
He still has 18 to 20 minutes. This Jason Tate thing is a little annoying though, because I don't know what they'll do with Tate. The last game, Tate got 19 minutes. I don't know who gets hurt here. KJ got 22 and then Eason got 20.
I haven't even talked about KJ and Tate.
Yeah.
But
So that is
those are the guys that he's gonna leapfrog.
Yes.
For minutes.
Yes, that's true. But I have a feeling that come trading time, come trade deadline time, which is 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, maybe Gordon gets shipped. No, maybe Gordon gets shipped. Maybe even KJ. There have been talks about KJ being talked about in trades. So there is a chance for Eason. But I would agree with you also. Mark Williams, pretty easy for him to really get. You can easily see it, how he gets to the 25, 26 minutes. I mean, just rest Plumlee or Plumlee gets some injuries here or there and just shut him down.
The only thing concerning about Mark Williams is what he's getting from that game where he started, I think. Now he's getting 12, 13 minutes.
Yeah.
Too low. Like we want around 15, 18 minutes, right? The good thing about Eason is that he gets consistent, 19 minutes and contributes already in those 19 minutes.
Problem with Mark Williams is Steve Clifford. No.
Another obstacle.
I don't think tanking is
probably the biggest obstacle.
It is.
If we can see Eason going through a lot of obstacles, this one, the biggest obstacle probably belongs to Mark Williams because the coach doesn't play him as much. But we'll see what happens. Plus, it's an old school coach as well. We know with old school coaches, they don't like these young guys playing these young guys. But we'll see. All right. That's it. First episode for 2023. Tomorrow, we're set to do the schedule. To look at the schedule So yeah, watch out for that. Last week we didn't have it, but we already posted it on our Facebook page. But tomorrow we'll continue working on the scheduled episode, week 13, closing in on the finals. And maybe we'll probably talk a bit more about strategies when you're 10th, right? I have teams right now.
Yeah.
I am 10th and around 3-4 games out of the 8th. Not looking good there, but it's still not the end of the season for me yet. What you can do based on the schedule and all. Alright, that's it. And we'll see you guys again tomorrow for another Daily Fantasy Weekly. Happy New Year, guys, and goodbye.